Toga, 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 toga.
It's not gonna be an orgy. It's a toga party.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Danimal Weekly number 30. I am Dan Andrews, also known as the Danimal from thedanimalhouse.com. 30! We've done this for 30 weeks. Can you believe that? Still going strong here. Today's topic is no one cares how strong you are. So I've been lifting, after lifting for whatever, 6 or 7 years now, and going through various types of training, bodybuilding and powerlifting and CrossFit, and I'm doing sort of all of that. For the longest time, and particularly when I first got into lifting, I was under the impression that people actually cared how strong you were. And I was under that impression for a very long time, probably until these last couple of years. And after a while, it begins to dawn on you that no one really has any sort of conception about how strong someone is. Like, if you go out on the street and you talk to a normal person and you tell them, oh, I can squat 500 pounds, or I can squat 6, 7, 800 pounds, they have very little understanding of the difference in level of commitment and desire and perhaps drug usage to get to those levels. They just have no idea. So honestly, like, you tell someone you squat 400, 600, like, to them it's all the same, really, unless someone has like an understanding of like strength training and like strength sports, and they have like some idea of the level of difficulty that goes into those sort of movements and feats. And even in the gym for a while, I was under the impression, people will like think more of me if I'm stronger or what have you. And after a while, no matter how weak I was, how strong I was, injured, uninjured, my training partners and friends in the gym, no one gave a shit how strong I was. Like, everybody seemed to like me, thought I was a good dude, but strong or not, no one gave a damn what my bench or squat or deadlift, any of this shit was. And that was really hard to accept for a long time. I want to like inspire and like sort of, I aspire to be great, or so like people like look up to me, or, just embody high quality ideals. And strength is not one of them. It's not something that people are inspired by really on like a global level. Obviously there have been great strength athletes, and there's a few that we remember, like Doug Young and Ed Cohen and Captain Kirk and some of the old school Olympic weightlifters and stuff. Those guys are great. But, we've got the Olympics going on now, and if you think about it, in 4, 8, 12 years, is anyone really going to remember who won what medals in the 2012 Olympics? No, they're not. Think about the Olympic athletes we remember, like Michael Phelps. Everybody knows who Michael Phelps is, and how he's won countless gold medals, like in numerous Olympics, and we remember him. Like, that's what it takes from a professional athlete, or from an athlete, to gain any sort of recognition or whatever you want to call it, star power, legacy, fame, anything. And most Olympic athletes don't do what Michael Phelps has done. And there's other very few like Olympic athlete moments that you remember, like breaking the 4-minute mile. I actually don't even know if that even happened at the Olympics. But like certain events in sport history, we remember those, but the athletes, like the individuals, I don't know, like people might say they care, but the reality is they don't. And that's why I always have to tell people that strength training and strength sports, like powerlifting, Olympic weightlifting, that sort of thing, strongman, is a purely selfish endeavor. Because no one gives a damn about how strong you are except for you. The only one those numbers are important to is you. And really no one, like, yeah, your coaches might care, and there might be some close people to you that understand how hard you've been pushing for certain things, but no one has a better understanding of the amount of hard work and shit you put in other than you. And I think that's sort of a dose of reality that has yet to strike upon the online strength and conditioning community, because there's still this obsession with like numbers, and these idiots think like, oh, it matters how much I squat or deadlift, and no one gives a fuck. And it's sad to see now at this point. And but there comes a liberation with that. Is, you know, I always felt sort of pressured, like, oh, I have to like squat this much before I'm like an impressive lifter or something. But now when you realize no one gives a damn, it's kind of liberating. You can just go into the gym, train how you want, do the lifts you want, have fun with it, and it's not so much of a burden, which is kind of nice. Like you realize that it's obviously clearly for your own enjoyment and for yourself and your own health and whatever reason you attribute to your going into the gym and doing strength movements. It's definitely a purely selfish thing, and I think a lot of people need to get it out of their head that anyone, if you're a guy, girls don't give a fuck how much you lift. I'm sorry, you're operating in a realm that is not reality. They, you know, that's why you'll see, I'm always struck by, like, you'll see some dude that's like hideous, like doesn't take care of himself. The guy's just gross, fat, you know, whatever. Doesn't have really a whole lot going for him, and yet somehow some of these guys manage to snag like really good looking girls, and you're always like, what the fuck is that? And the reality is they just, you know, they have some good humor and a little bit of wit and some confidence, and they can get girls like that. That's like far more important than your fucking bench press or squat. Like, don't get me wrong, you know, looking good helps. It certainly can't hurt. But I think a lot of guys, like insecure younger dudes, like just don't understand that women only care about the size of your dick and your wallet. I mean, it's really what it comes down to. But anyway, so I hope that enlightens you a little bit. And if you're operating under those presuppositions that like people actually care about how strong you are, I think you need to let go of that a little bit and really focus on lifting for what's important to you. And it's really just a purely selfish thing, and that's all it ever should be. So thanks, guys. This is Danimal Weekly number 30. I am Dan Andrews, also known as the Danimal from thedanimalhouse.com. Check in next week. Have a good one, guys. Peace.
Now, was Milton trying to tell us that being bad was more fun than being good?